Hello, and welcome to the Finding the Unicorn in You podcast. What a beautiful day to inspire lives. My name is Jaime G, Raygoza, your host, and I am so excited to have you here. Let's get ready to meet some fantastic unicorns and learn how to unleash the inner unicorn in you. Let's get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Finding the Unicorn in You. Today, we're going to talk about an unexpected experience that happened to me and where I learned a couple life lessons that I wanted to share with y'all. Like I mentioned in the previous episode, I really wanted to go to this Pokemon museum. It's inside the Japanese house in Hollywood. Beautiful art made from various different materials. I read on the history of the artist and how they merged their experience of Pokemon and wanted to add more of a realistic texture. I took a lot of pictures. I actually got in trouble because I was recording, trying to make a TikTok, and then they told me, hey, you're not allowed to record. No flash photography and no recording, only pictures. So he was nice enough to let me keep the recordings I already made. I just wasn't able to record the rest of the art exhibit, but I took a lot of pictures. For those that don't know, I live in Orange County, so it's 1.5 hour to 2 hour drive from Orange County to Los Angeles. And the art exhibit took like maybe 15-20 minutes. So as beautiful as it was very short. So I was like, let me make the most out of this day and just walk around, play Pokemon Go, and have a solo date with myself. I went out of the museum. I started acting like a tourist and went walking and seeing the different building structures and things I haven't noticed before. So I was walking the strip, and as I was looking at the different vendors, I saw this little old lady in a hot dog stand, and she was selling bacon wrapped hot dogs. I am such a sucker for a good street dog, so I was super excited. So I go up and I was just like, hey, I would like one. And she starts putting all the stuff on the hot dog. And another person came up, she started helping them. She hands over the hot dog to me. And I'm waiting for her to tell me the price. I can pay her. She looks over and I'm already half eating with the hot dog. And she's like, oh, it's going to be $23. And I got taken aback. Like, $23 for a hot dog? I know inflation is happening, but that's just insane. And I was like, are you serious? Are you like kidding with me? Or like, like why? And she's like, it's going to be $23. I just looked at her and I was in awe. I felt very guilty because I ate already half of it, so I couldn't return it. I just took a deep breath. Being a business owner, I completely understand you set your own prices and you got to make ends meet at the end of the day. I asked myself, do I have the money to make this purchase? Yes. Is it going to financially impact me so much that it's going to ruin and put me behind on my finances? No. The worst that's going to happen is I can't get my Starbucks next week and like maybe a McDonald's or whatever I want to treat myself next week. So I just have to be a little bit more frivolous next week, but I will be fine. I gave her the money and I just walked away. A few minutes later, as I have finishing up the hot dog, I bump into this little boy who I've worked in homeless services. You can kind of start knowing and seeing when someone is homeless. And the boy had very dirty clothing, very roughed up hair, had signs that he hadn't showered in a couple days, and he was holding a couple of paintings that he had made. And he mentioned that him and his father have been selling paintings. And he mentioned that if I can donate anything from like $1 to $5, $20, whatever I wanted for whatever I thought was worth for the painting. It was like a picture. It was on piece of paper, but I was like, let me help out and pay it forward. The dad came out and said, oh, thank you so much for donating. We actually have a square, which is, for those that don't know, it's like this little trinket that you attach to your phone and you can accept Apple Pay and credit card with, which I found a little suspicious, but I was like, what? Like I said, everybody's trying to make a buck out here, and the least I can do is donate at least $5. You can put the amount in there. I put $5 and I put accept. I did the Apple Pay on my card and I walk away. I decided to go get some iced coffee at a Starbucks. And as soon as I enter, I get a notification via email of the receipt for the donation that I made. And it said $5 plus a $55 tip. I was already upset about the hot dog incident, and I was taken aback again. And I was like, wow, did I just really get swindled again? I took a deep breath and I just thought to myself, okay, what lessons can I learn today? And this is what I'm going to talk about for the rest of the podcast. Some of you may be frustrated at me, and some of you may be feeling like, wow, this guy is something else. But
some things you have to really pay attention is every obstacle or every curbside in like occurrence that happens to you, there's something you can learn from it. Even though everything seems grim and negative, you always have to find the bright side of it. So I want to dig deep and do the same activity that I did right after I got home so that you can do this whenever you're having a bad day or if you had a bad occurrence. Grab a piece of paper, grab your journal, open up your phone's notes section, whatever you need to do to write things down. What I want you to do is think about a bad incident that has recently happened to you. Remember all the detail and intricacies that happened and write as much detail as possible. What were the initial instincts that came to mind when the incident was happening? What was the thoughts and feelings you had after the incident happened? Ask yourself, why did you have these feelings? What caused these feelings to stir up? Let's peel the onion back and really ask ourselves, what is the true reason that you were feeling this way? For me, it was the feeling of deception. Something that I didn't mention during the story of the hot dog is as soon as I walked away, a different person came up to the lady and she charged them $8 for the hot dog versus 23 for me. So it made me a little bit more angry. And the reason I got mad was now reflecting on it was because of the deception. I'm willing to help people and I'm willing to give back. Whenever you give back to someone, you get a good feeling of warmth that you've been able to help somebody else. However, there's a Hispanic saying, le das la mano y te agarran el pie. You give them a hand and then they take your leg instead. People take advantage of the situation. It makes you feel a little bit bad. They lied to you in order to get what you wanted. I wrote that down and I was thinking about it. Okay, what are some reasons that this person might have lied to me? And what are the reasons that they did this? I really thought about it. And so, not that this person is intrinsically evil and they were out to get me, but I'm looking at the economic state. We're in a really bad place in the United States. Groceries, you get like 4 or 5 things like at the market, and it ends up being like $100. Times are tough, and people are trying to do and they're trying to hustle to do the best that they can in order to make ends meet. I don't know what that person's situation was at home, or even if they have a home, and this is the way that they survive. And they learn these defensive mechanisms to be able to get more money at the end of the day so that they can survive. Like I said, I respect the hustle. It is not the ethically and most moral way of doing it, but I understand at least where they're coming from. I also believe in karma. Give good karma, have your good intentions, and good karma will come back to you. I, at that time, didn't need that money as much as that person might have needed it. So I take it as I gifted that money to them. Just let it go. Let go of all the feelings and attachment to it. Because at the end of the day, it's just materialistic things. Money comes and goes. I'll get paid next week and everything will be fine. I don't know what that person's situation is going to be like. Maybe that's they're living day by day and that's the only way they're going to know. Am I going to be able to eat tonight? Am I going to be able to eat tomorrow? Or what their situation is. So I just said, bless them and let it go. Bless them, wish them the best, and hopefully they will take whatever gift you gave them, whether it was intentional or unintentional, and then keep going. Same thing with the little kid and the dad. I can get angry at them, but what's the point of me getting angry? The only person that it's affecting is me. They left, they got what they wanted, but I'm the one stuck with these emotions. I'm the one stuck with these feelings. So I need to settle them by myself. And there's nothing that I can do to them that would, one, make me feel better, and two, get my money back. Why linger on the situation? Why get mad and stress? And like I said, I'm fine at the end of the day. It's not like I'm struggling. I'm not at the best financial state, but I'm not at the worst financial state. Just take it and go with it one day at a time. So that's what I mean by peeling back the onion, really asking yourself these questions. And when you see it, something is so powerful when you see it on paper and you get out of your head and you actually see the big picture, you start really thinking outside of the box and getting in their shoes and asking why certain situations happen. This was a different situation because it had some money in it, so it causes a little bit more frustration. But this can be applied for any situation. If you had an argument with your spouse, if you had a disagreement with your boss, if there's something that happened to you, like an incident that was unforeseen, like you got in a car accident, your heel broke, whatever it may be, you forgot your lunch at home and you had to like skip lunch that day, whatever it may be, really look at the big picture and see what can I learn from the situation and what are the things that can make this situation a little bit better so that I can at least resolve these feelings that I'm feeling. I think a lot of the time we hold on to those feelings and we suppress them. What I want you to think is that these feelings are basically just filling up in your cup little by little, and they start filling up all the way to the top until one day it's too much and you overreact to a small incident and everything spills over because you just had bottled it up. You suppressed everything. So instead, do what I did, come home, really reflect on what happened. How can you mend and release these feelings so that you can be in a better state of mind? And how can you progress forward? What can you learn instead of festering and keeping that anger inside you? Those are things that I've learned in this past situation. It was a very sucky situation, but you have to make lemonade out of the lemons you get in life. As you continue on your journey, remember that there's going to be a lot of unpredictable things that are going to happen to you every single day. But these are opportunities of growth and self-discovery for you if you look at them in that way. Just like a phoenix who rises from their ashes, take these experiences and shape them to help them make the person that you are. Help them make you be a better person, a better human being, and just be a little bit more patient, a little bit more kind and thoughtful, and don't take things too seriously. I think a lot of the times we want to just hold on to those ideas because we feel our emotions are so strong and we think that everything has to be justified and fair. But life works in a very weird and complex manner. You have to be able to look at things a little bit more on the macro level, get out of the situation and really think and take a step back and think, okay, why is this happening? How is it that I can fix the solution, or how can I get myself out of this pickle? After really reflect on what happened and what can you do to maybe avoid it. So for me, I've learned that I have to ask for the price before just walking in there, just trying to help and just helping a vendor. That doesn't mean I'm going to avoid street vendors altogether, but instead I'm going to ask beforehand, maybe carry cash. That way it's less of a likelihood of me getting taken advantage via technology, and be a little bit more prepared in that manner. Another thing is be aware of my surroundings. I was on my phone when all this happened, so I was a little bit distracted. So I was less in tune with my instincts to be able to think rapidly. So put my phone away, be in the moment, be in the present so that I can fully observe the situation and make better decisions the next time. As we wrap up this episode, I invite you to share your reflections on to the comments or go to my social media and respond to my story and see what's some stories that you've had, some struggles that you've had, and what are some reflections that you've made from that story. I would love to hear them, and I would love to see what y'all are learning and what you got out of this episode and what you like the most. So thank you so much for joining this episode of Finding the Unicorn in You. I really appreciate everyone who listens to my episodes. If you can, leave a 5-star review. It helps me spread my word to a lot more people, and it really helps me to continue creating episodes like these. If you haven't done so, go show my website some love, raygoza-consulting.com, where I actually post a recap of all the episodes where you can read them and grab any links and resources that come with it. I will have this activity written down on there so you can actually download it and start journaling and reflecting on bad situations. You'll see other tidbits and other freebies in there. Thank you so much. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. And don't forget to tap into your inner unicorn. Until next time.
Thanks again for listening to Finding the Unicorn in You.